Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I would like to present to you two articles of interest. And before I do that, I would like to let you know that this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is Politico. And the story by Phaleem Kine and Robbie Gramer. The headline reads, U.S. released a Chinese detainee to free imprisoned American. And ahead of you, you see a picture of the U.S. It would be the Department of State ticket to building. And caption reads, 211012-State-Department-Getty-773. Copyright J. Scott Applewhite/AP photo. Now to the article itself. The Biden administration brokered the release last month of David Lin, a U.S. citizen jailed in China for 16 years, by trading him for an unidentified Chinese citizen in U.S. custody, according to three people familiar with the deal. The State Department hasn't publicly disclosed that it exchanged Lin for a Chinese national and declined to answer questions about how it negotiated his freedom after his September 15 release. That is a marked difference from very public prisoner exchanges that the U.S. has brokered with Russia in recent years. The three people did not provide the identity of the Chinese citizen. All were granted anonymity because they weren't authorized to publicly discuss sensitive diplomatic negotiations. While the reason for the decision is to keep quiet is unclear. It would fall in line with Beijing's reflexive secrecy on diplomatic issues and its efforts to tightly control information. It also coincides with the administration's ongoing efforts to free Mark Swiden and Kai Li, two other Americans behind bars in China whom the State Department considers wrongfully detained. The State Department, the White House, and the Chinese Embassy in Washington declined to comment. Lin, a Chinese-American pastor who lived in California, had been behind bars in China since 2006, serving a life sentence for what the U.S. government said were bogus charges of contract fraud. California Governor Gavin Newsom raised Lin's case while on an official trip to China last year, but was unable to secure his release. Politico's effort to contact Lin's daughter in California weren't successful. And ahead of you have a related video entitled China Says South Korean Citizen Detained for Alleged Spying. And that will be available upon publishing of this review, but that will only be available, the link that is to the article will only be available on, on Rumble, that is, excuse me, because YouTube does block links or flags channels that has links to articles itself. So that will be available there. The link will be available in the Rumble channel. So what I'll do is in YouTube, because I'll have this uploaded both to YouTube and Rumble, is what I'll have the name of my YouTube channel and the link to my Rumble, the name of my Rumble channel and the link to my Rumble channel. That will be in the comment section in YouTube. They just don't allow links to other websites, which doesn't make sense because the links I put in is actually like giving credit and it's showing like, okay, this is where the article came from. But that's YouTube's policy, so that it is what it is. The deal is, anyway, so the deal for Lin would mark the first time the U.S. has traded a Chinese national to Beijing to free an American citizen in recent history. Such exchanges aren't in China's DNA, says John Kam, founder of the nonprofit prisoner release advocacy organization, Dui Hua Foundation. Quote, I can't think of a single example in my 50 years doing this where they have released a U.S. citizen as part of the swap, Kam said. But Beijing has previously used detained foreigners for political leverage. In 2021, China detained two Canadian citizens, Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, on uh, specious spying charges. Never heard of specious, but it's okay. Specious spying charges as part of a negotiating ploy to win the release of Meng Wanzhou, the chief financial officer of China's telecom equipment giant Huawei, from house arrest in Canada in 2021. Biden has characterized the release of wrongfully detained Americans as a top foreign policy priority for his administration and secure the release of more than 70 American hostages from foreign countries during the time in his office. So that's one of the rare things, in my opinion, that Biden has done right. Is he has been good with foreign policy, just not at home, but abroad he's been pretty good, and that part has been good. So you have to give him credit, even though I don't like him, but you have to give credit where credit is due. So that's what it is. The Biden administration has used prisoner swaps over the past 2 years to secure the release of multiple U.S. citizens arbitrarily detained in Russia, including Wall Street Journal reporter Ivan Gershkovich, excuse me, and basketball star Brittany Griner. But that strategy has drawn criticism from some lawmakers, which welcome the return of detainees, but argue making making trades motivates autocratic governments to take more U.S. citizens hostage in the future. At the time of the U.S. high-profile multi-nation prisoner swap in Russia in August, Representative Michael McCall, which is a Republican from Texas, the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, said he was, quote, concerned that continuing to trade innocent Americans for actual Russian criminals held in U.S. and elsewhere sends a dangerous message to Putin that only encourages further hostage taking by his regime, unquote. So there's definitely, I think I would agree on that point. There is definitely that concern. So that's definitely a delicate way to deal with it. The families of the American flagged as wrongly detained in China have long urged the State Department to swap Chinese citizens behind bars in the U.S., whom Beijing wants returned to get their relatives home. They've argued that the Biden administration has focused too much on quiet diplomacy through the office of the Special Presidential Envoy on Hostage Affairs and officials in the U.S. Embassy in Beijing to negotiate the release of their loved ones. That strategy, they say, has failed. Some lawmakers have also called for more robust actions to free Li and Sweden from China. Representative Chris Smith, which is a Republican from New Jersey, and Senator Jeff Merkley, as a Democrat from Oregon, convened a hearing of the Congressional Executive Commission on China last month. To draw attention to the plight, the two lawmakers said Li and Sweden's release, quote, must remain a diplomatic priority for the administration in a letter to President Joe Biden earlier this month. News that a trade has been made for Lin came as a surprise to Mark Sweden's mother, Texas-based Catherine Sweden. And he said, I had no idea. I've been trying to find out what the circumstances, meaning of Lin's release, were, and the State Department nobody would tell us anything. Sweden said. And that will do it for that article. Let's go to our second and final article of the review. And this one's a short one, but I like to throw in some current events also with technology or product reviews, which is the whole point of my YouTube and Rumble channel. So, as usual, I would like to let you know that this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is Gadget Review, and the story by Al Landis. The headline reads, Apple's new Mac Mini is smaller, stronger with M4 chips. And ahead of you see the picture of such device, which is on the person's fingers. The caption reads, Apple's new Mac Mini is smaller and stronger with the M4 chips. Now, I will tell you that I've been seeing the increase of these sort of mini PCs or mini computers because it does take up much less space. It's also cheaper. The only concerns that I've seen is cooling issues. Like, does it have a cooling fan? How good is the circulation of air? You know, does it have a fan? Is it liquid cooling? And then also, does it have sufficient amount of computing power? And I believe it has sufficient amount of ports. And I think the computing power, there's different tiers of it. But basically, it is quite good in that respect. Why it matters. As reported back in August, Apple has reimagined the Mac Mini with dramatically smaller footprint and powerful new M4 chips while achieving carbon neutrality for the first time in the Mac product. This isn't just another upgrade, it's Apple showing us to pack more punch into less space while helping saving the planet. Well, you can't get carbon neutrality, meaning 0%, because every carbon based organism, will give off carbon. And also, to produce the item, you also have to give off carbon. So technically, it's an impossibility. Now, the only thing I would say about this is, unless it's stated otherwise, I know there's packages where you can buy like separate peripherals, so it doesn't come with any peripherals that I know of. So these types of things. I'm not saying this one specifically, but these types of things, these mini computers, PC, Macs, whatever the situation is, it doesn't come with like, for example, keyboard or mouse, or also a display screen. Although probably they're going to be coming up with something that will be able to project an image, but for now it doesn't. But that's probably in the works. So anyway, I still think it's quite good for the time being. So here's the design, okay? Is the new Mac Mini is radically more compact with a footprint of 50% smaller than its predecessor. The device's 5-inch square design makes it even more versatile for various desk setups while maintaining professional-grade connectivity. It measures just 2 inches tall, and it features innovative and thermal architecture, as per Mac rumors. In terms of its performance, it says performance leap. The author says, of course, not me. We knew Apple was all about the M4, the next-gen MacBook Pros and iMacs. The M4 and the M4 Pro chips deliver substantial improvements. Apple's Sophie reports that their base model offers 1.8 times faster CPU and 2.2x faster GPU performance compared to the M1. The Pro variant includes the up to 14 CPU cores, about 20 GPU cores, with Thunderbolt 5 support enabling 120 gigabit, so lowercase b is a bit, capital B is byte, 120 gigabyte per second data transfer speeds. M4 Pro offers 3 times faster neural engine, supports multiple 6K displays. In terms of the pricing and availability, starting at $599 with 16 gigabyte unified memory as standard, the new Mac and Mini maintains its competitive pricing while offering significantly improved specifications. The device will be available in stores and begin shipping to customers on November 8th, with configurations ranging up to $1,399 for the M4 Pro model. Now, in a related video entitled Apple's Green Machine, Mac Mini with the first carbon neutral Mac, as they put it, with M4 Pro the top model, as per Solution Tales video. And again, that will be available upon the publishing of this review, as it won't be available. The links, of course, to this article won't be available in the comment section of YouTube, as YouTube either flags or blocks the links, or even putting things in the comment section depending on what the situation is. So what I'll do is I can put stuff in the comment section, but they will flag the video. So depending on whether it's for kids or not kids, sometimes they'll block. I think if it's for kids or something, I think they'll block the comments or whatever. And I think for adults they won't. But But yeah, but if you put links in the comments section to the actual article or just other links to other websites, short of maybe another file sharing site, video sharing site. Yeah, file sharing. Well, it is a file. Yeah, video sharing sites such as Rumble or whatever. Uh, yeah, short of that, they will flag your video. So sometimes they'll flag it, sometimes they won't. And they were flagging my video, so I was like, you know what? I'm not getting strikes on my channel. It's like I'm putting out legitimate, useful information. Just objectively, this is in the public domain, and I'm just reviewing it, what's already in the public domain. So I think you know what I mean. All right, with that said, the author also would like to say that the article may contain affiliate links that Microsoft and/or publisher may receive a commission from if you buy a product or service from those links. So, welcome to the world of affiliate marketing. But that's fair. You know, they're doing a service for somebody. This person was able to benefit by getting money, and they're paying some sort of commission or something. I think it's fair. But anyway, I would like to, before I finish the review, I would like to ask your opinion about the review, which is for the two articles. The first one, namely, being U.S. released a Chinese detainee to free imprisoned American. And the second one is Apple's new Mac Mini is smaller and stronger with M4 chips. What do you think of those two articles? Are they interesting? Are they relevant? Do they contain enough information? What do you think of them? Again, you're welcome to give your opinion in the comments below, but only in Rumble, as oftentimes, depending on how this is set up, and I think in this case, I might be able to have the comment section not blocked, as in it will be available for you to comment in. So you're welcome to give your opinion about those articles. Just keep in mind that I'm looking for constructive information. So if you have anything constructive to add, not just this sucks or this is stupid or whatever, say something constructive in which that will lead uh, to the improvement of things, as everything can always be improved. Unless your name is God, you can always improve. Okay, so if you're looking for specific types of things that are in the public domain for articles or information, you're also welcome to give that as well. But keep in mind that the comment section is not there for advertisements, okay? If you post any advertisement stuff short of asking me if I want digital marketer or something, I don't want the comment section to be something of an advertising marketplace. If you do advertise on there, I'm going to block your comments. Okay, I'm just telling you in advance, because that's not what the comment section is for. Okay. So anyway, I'd like to take this time to thank you for watching this article review. As you could be watching any other science and technology and current events review, but you watched mine, so I greatly appreciate it. Now, as this did provide value for you to be up to date with the news, what I'd like you to do is please click like on the video. That way it'll be pushed through the algorithm and more people will be able to view it and enjoy it. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll have access to all the content on my channel, as I certainly do have a variety of content on this channel for you to view and enjoy. Also, if you haven't already, please click the bell button. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos, so when a future video of mine comes out, you'll be notified accordingly and you won't miss out. Okay, so stay tuned for that. So I'd like to wish you a great day wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I'll certainly talk to you next time. Stay tuned.